No, I've been focusing specifically on one court case that's going on right now, and I know I did a little primer at the end of last week as well for this one, but there's been some new developments again, and you know what? Hey, the Wicked Witch of Chappaqua finally came up specifically, and it doesn't look good for old Michael Sussman, and it looks like he's going to be the first of many dominoes to fall, which is pretty cool. It's just the fact that it took this fucking long to finally come to that realization that, she might have been a little bit of a co-conspirator, a little bit of a collaborator, and a lot of people are going to fall in front of her because if she ends up taking the fall, even more people are going to end up taking an unexpected fall. Anyways, Clinton campaign aides try to protect the Queen at ex-lawyer's trial, a legal expert says. Yeah, bombshell testimony that Hillary Clinton personally authorized giving a reporter since debunked data about Donald Trump and Russia was part of a chess-like maneuver to protect the Queen. Yeah, exactly. And how exactly do you lose a game of chess? By idolizing the Queen, okay? A Queen sacrifice is a very famous move because guess what? The only way that you lose a game of chess is not when you lose the Queen. It's when you lose the King. So, how analogous to life. Protect the Queen, lose the game. A former U.S. Justice Department official told the Post. Jim Trusty, I believe him, just look at his surname, come on now, said former Clinton campaign manager Robby Mook's revelation Friday. Really? This dude's name is Robby. We're hearing analysis from Jim Trusty about the testimony of Robby Mook. What a timeline. Revelations on Friday, in which he quickly tried to walk back, actually meshed with other testimony in which Mook and, and former campaign general counsel Mark Elias, there he is again, both said they were unaware campaign lawyer Michael Sussman planned to also provide the information to the FBI. Both men said that they would have objected to the move if they had known. The strategy here is to protect the Queen, Trusty said in an email. Yep, no, of course. The Knights, the lawyers of the campaign and the campaign manager have drawn the line, admitting what they have to admit. No, exactly. And that's why with a lot of these probes and trials and investigations that go on, you never really see the bigwigs taking the fall. You always see the Michael Sussmans of the world, okay? The campaign managers, the board of elections, the board of directors, okay? And it's always some tertiary person on there that ends up catching a case and then going away for a minute to Club Fed, okay? It's never the Hillary Clintons, it's never the Joe Bidens, it's never even the Hunter Bidens, okay? It's always some lackey, some underling, some intern who was there pressing the buttons on the fucking keyboard that was sending the information off to the world, okay? But is it going to end up leading to the arrest of Hillary Clinton? Well, just ask Jeffrey Epstein how well that works out for anybody who has information on that. Oh, wait, you can't. He totally legitimately killed himself. Meanwhile, Mook and Elias also suggest that Clinton was shocked by Sussman going to the FBI. Oh, well, of course, she said to go to the CIA, which he also went to. Or at least the CIA had knowledge that this was all garbage. Said Trusty, now a Washington, D.C. lawyer and Fox News contributor. Oh, he's clearly biased then. Legal representation simply does not work that way. You don't freelance a visit to the FBI while billing your client for the time. No, exactly. The defense is basically trying to provide a fig leaf to any partisan juror who want to acquit. Yeah, no, exactly. Just here, make Sussman take this L. He's got this indictment for lying to the FBI. It'll just end with him getting disbarred, and yeah, no, he'll be set up with the DNC's golden parachute, and he'll be fine. But somebody will go away for the misdeeds of 2016, and it doesn't really much matter. Justice is, for some people that are out there. Former FBI agent Thomas J. Baker also told the Post whether Sussman is found guilty or innocent or otherwise, Special Counsel John Durham has already laid out, in my opinion, what these people were up to and what was going on. It paints a picture of Sussman colluding with other people to drag the FBI into the investigation and besmirch the presidential candidate. Oh my God, exactly. Not Clinton. That would be Trump. Okay, I want to get her off the screen. She creeps me out still. Sussman is on trial in D.C. on a single count of lying to the government when he met with then FBI General Counsel James Baker on September 19th, 2016. Wow, 2016 is awfully popular date when it comes to a bunch of the trials that are out there recently. And you know what, hey, the ones that are taking the headlines. Even though this one is probably a little bit more consequential in the grand scheme. I can't even really say that. It should theoretically be bigger and more consequential than Heard Depp, but then you look at the underlying circumstances around that case as well, and I waffle back and forth. They're equal, right? But we all know which one's getting more headlines and more traction. We know all the accusations using, fake information that alleged that Trump was, working with Russia's Alfa Bank and spying on him at Trump Tower with a whole bunch of goofy shit. Anyways, he's accused of falsely denying that he was acting on behalf of a client, with Durham alleging that Sussman was actually working for both the Clinton campaign and Rodney Joffe, a tech executive who told him about the data. Thomas Baker suggested that the case against Sussman would be stronger if not for changes instituted by former FBI Director Robert Mueller following the September 11th terror attacks. Sorry, what? Moving away from being a law enforcement agency to an intelligence agency changed the culture, he said. Okay. Part of it was to get rid of the agent executives and replace them with so-called professionals like James Baker. Thomas Baker said that if James Baker... Why are there so many similar names in these high-ranking government positions? It's almost like they were created in tanks to work for the deep state. Anyways, said an FBI agent, he would have immediately summoned another agent to participate in the meeting with Sussman and prepared an official report known as a 302. Instead, Baker didn't take any of those notes and left what Sussman said open to question. He said, interesting. Okay. So if he didn't file a 302, was their interaction like a 304 or something like that? Because somebody was getting paid. In a recent column for The Post, former Manhattan federal prosecutor Andrew McCarthy said Durham appears to have built a case of historic consequence. Yeah. Because you think about it, because there was 2 high-profile probes in the past, 6 years or so, right? He had the Mueller probe, which turned up literally nothing. And then we have the Durham probe here, which is actually not even complete, and the total findings haven't been released. These are just simple filings that are leading to federal court cases, okay? They both were searching and combing and investigating literally the same information, the same allegations. Trump was involved with Russia. Those were the allegations both times over. What did we turn out? Clinton was involved with Russia. Okay, 2016 had a lot of Russia involved with it. It just wasn't what the media was telling you at the time. It wasn't what the DNC was telling you at the time, for very good reasons, apparently. They had a deep disinformation network, which, less said about the better. Anyways, McCarthy goes on to say that this portrays the Clinton campaign as guilty of perhaps the worst dirty trick in the history of American presidential elections. Ooh, God, I hope he has good personal security. Those are big claims to make. The problem for Durham is that because he hasn't charged the big scheme, Judge Christopher Cooper is restricting what he can tell the jury about it, McCarthy wrote. Yeah, interesting. And again, what we can suss out through the rest of the day, it's just transcripts at the end of the day to do some readouts on. And I'm not even entirely sure how you can get them if you have to pay for them. I know that there's one law channel. Used to be Watching the Watchers. Used to be Robert Grueller as well. Now it's Robert Gouvier. He's from Arizona. Really good law channel as well. And he's doing readouts of the transcripts at the end of the day and not getting nearly enough coverage on it. So if you're more interested on the day-to-day progressions of it, yeah, definitely. He's doing readouts every single day. But if there was audio recordings, if there was video recordings, maybe it'd be a little bit more digestible. But that's federal court for you. It's not even a conspiracy because it's this case. It involves the Clintons. There's a bunch of shady shit going on. It's just that's how federal courts roll, okay? And until that changes, it's just going to be more of this stuff, second-hand reporting. Well, I guess third-hand reporting at this time because this is a report on an expert's report of the report that's not complete. See what I mean? It's all kind of funny, but it's all very consequential at the same time, okay? It's the deep state running amok, but they finally got caught. But as McCarthy continues here, on the other hand, to the extent Sussman directly participated in the scheme, the court is inclined to let Durham prove it. Yeah, no, fair enough. A different view was put forward on Thursday by U.S. Representative Matt Gaetz, who tweeted, "I do not believe that the Durham trial of Michael Sussman is about convicting Michael Sussman at all. No, it's to set up other things as well." And again, once the entire probe comes out and the investigation is complete, Maybe some more heads will roll. Probably not the biggest ones. Probably not the names that you know, but maybe some of the more high-profile campaign officials, okay? Maybe somebody as high-profile as a Podesta or a Wasserman Schultz. Maybe a Donna Brazil. Somebody like that. Somebody high-ranking at the DNC or a campaign manager, vice manager for the Clinton campaign. But it's not going to be HRC walking down in a fucking striped pantsuit, okay? Don't get your hopes up too high on that, but... as the shit is going on, you got the orange man just leaning over the corner saying, oh, after all this time, everybody's been talking about Russia, Russia, Russia. I had nothing to do with it, so when am I going to get my name cleared? Because in 2024, we need to make America something if there's anything left by the time I can run for president. Trump asks, when do I get my reputation back? After revealing testimony from Clinton campaign manager. Former President Donald Trump called the Russia probe against him one of the greatest political scandals in history. After the May 20th testimony revealed that Hillary Clinton had given the approval to disseminate the claims linking him to the Russian bank. This is one of the greatest political scandals in history. Trump told Fox News on Saturday. For 3 years, I had to fight it off. I had to fight those crooked people off, especially Hillary. She's so crooked and tiny and evil. And you'll never get your reputation fully back. Where do I get my reputation back? Probably on Truth Social, and more people could find it if they could successfully sign up for it. Fucking disaster still. Trump said the resources poured into finding whether he and members of this campaign had worked with Russia to meddle in the 2016 election, had diverted attention to what have been the real danger with Russia. Yeah, no, all of those diverted resources, okay? You had the House just consistently spurging out Russia, Russia, Russia all the time, okay? That's still Adam Schiff's gig. The motherfucker won't stop at all. But maybe if they were doing that instead of just, diverting attention to that, could have been better equipped for that pandemic, okay? And then maybe the new one that's on the horizon. More on that in a moment. Or literally anything else, but oh well. Robby Mook, Clinton's campaign manager, told a federal court on Friday that he was first briefed about the allegations of the purported secret bank channel between Trump's business and Russia's Alfa Bank by Clinton campaign top lawyer Mark Elias. The campaign didn't immediately act on the allegation of fear that it wasn't credible. Okay, he said, noting that the campaign officials lacked the subject matter expertise to assess the claim. When the group decided to share information with the media, Mook ran it by Clinton. Okay, so the people in charge of the campaign. Okay, if anybody's going to ultimately end up taking the L on this one, I'm thinking maybe Mark Elias, okay? But anyways, like I said, it's going to be a high-ranking official of some tertiary party, not Clinton herself, okay? Maybe, though, these are pretty strong allegations, but at the end of the day, these are just allegations, okay? We told her we have this and we want to share it with the reporter. She agreed to that. Okay, he said. He couldn't remember when Clinton gave him the green light, of course. And I can remember she agreed with the decision. She thought we made the right decision. Despite not being totally confident in the allegations, the campaign staffer later passed the information to the reporter, who they expected would vet the information. Which reporter did you give it to? Okay. Oh, to Slate. Okay. Ugh. No wonder they weren't totally satisfied with the authenticity of the report and information that they had, so they passed it off to Slate. Makes sense. Our hope was that they were going to run it down. They would be substantive and accurate. Yeah, but you gave it to Slate. What did you expect? Okay, they published a story October 31st. Oh, Halloween 2016. And Clinton highlighted it in a post on Twitter later that evening. Computer scientists have apparently uncovered a covert server linking the Trump organization to a Russia-based bank, she wrote. Michael Sussman, former campaign officer, yes, standing trial for all of those fun things. So yeah, that's where we're at so far because the readout for the day hasn't come out. Obviously, court is still in session, or it could be wrapping up at about this time, but if there's anything more substantive that comes out, I'll be checking in a couple of different times. It's just hard to follow all this stuff because you can't report from inside the courtroom. You just have to wait until the end of the day, and then once again, like I was saying, you get second, third, fourth hand information. So I don't want to be like Hillary Clinton and put out bad information. I just wait until it's all collected and then report it to you guys. With all that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Why don't you follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.